Have you ever found yourself stuck in a mental loop, desperately trying to justify a belief or behavior that deep down you know isn't serving you? Welcome to the fascinating world where logical fallacies meet psychological defenses. Today, we're diving deep into the murky waters of the human psyche, exploring how the mind's attempts to protect itself can lead to stagnation and dysfunction. Buckle up. This journey might just change the way you think about thinking. These mental shortcuts and biases aren't just logical missteps. They're deeply ingrained survival mechanisms, evolved over millennia to help our ancestors navigate a dangerous world. The study of these fallacies dates back to ancient Greece, with philosophers like Aristotle first categorizing and analyzing them in his work on rhetoric and logic. In our modern lives, they often persist as unconscious strategies to maintain emotional equilibrium, avoid discomfort, and preserve our sense of self. By understanding their origins and functions, we gain powerful insights into our own behaviors and thought patterns. As we explore each fallacy, remember, these aren't just abstract concepts, but living, breathing parts of our daily mental processes. Let's begin our journey of self-discovery by unmasking some of these hidden defenders of the psyche. 1. The ad hominem attack, projection in disguise. Picture this. You're in an argument, and instead of addressing the issue, you find yourself attacking the other person's character. You're too sensitive, or you never understand anything. This isn't just a logical fallacy. It's your psyche's way of projecting its own insecurities onto others. It's easier to see flaws in others than to face our own, isn't it? 2. Hasty generalization. The comfort of cognitive shortcuts. I got hurt once, so I'll never trust again. Sounds familiar? This isn't just faulty logic, it's your mind's attempt to protect you from future pain. By overgeneralizing, your psyche creates a false sense of predictability in an unpredictable world. It's a shortcut to feeling safe, but at what cost? 3. The red herring, avoidance in action. When a conversation gets too close to a painful truth, do you find yourself changing the subject? This isn't just a debate tactic, it's your mind's way of avoiding uncomfortable realities. Avoidance might offer temporary relief, but it's like putting a Band-Aid on a broken bone. The real issue festers beneath the surface. 4. To quote, the mirror of insecurity. You do it too. Isn't just a childish retort, it's a defense mechanism that helps us avoid confronting our own behaviors. By pointing out others' flaws, we momentarily feel better about our own. But this tit-for-tat mentality keeps us stuck in a cycle of blame, never addressing the real issues at hand. 5. The slippery slope, catastrophizing as control. If I let myself feel sad, I'll fall into a depression and never recover. This isn't just faulty logic, it's your mind's attempt to control the uncontrollable through fear. Catastrophizing gives the illusion of preparedness, but it actually paralyzes us, keeping us from taking positive action. 6. Special pleading, the self-serving exception. Rules apply to everyone, except me. This isn't just inconsistent logic, it's your psyche's attempt to maintain a positive self-image while avoiding the discomfort of change. By making ourselves the exception, we protect our ego but stunt our growth. 7. The loaded question, assumption as armor. When we ask, why are you always so difficult? We're not just using faulty logic. We're armoring ourselves with assumptions, protecting our worldview from challenge or change. These preloaded assumptions act as a buffer, keeping uncomfortable truths at bay. 8. False dilemma, the comfort of simplicity. It's either perfect or it's worthless. This black and white thinking isn't just logically unsound. It's a psychological defense against the complexity and ambiguity of life. By reducing everything to binary choices, we create an illusion of control and clarity. But life rarely fits into such neat categories. 9. Straw man, the ego's distortion field. When we misrepresent someone's argument to make it easier to attack, we're not just committing a logical fallacy. We're allowing our ego to distort reality, making it easier to dismiss ideas that challenge our worldview. This distortion keeps us comfortable but stunts our personal growth and empathy. 10. Circular reasoning, the safety of the familiar. I'm right because, well, I just am. This isn't just faulty logic. It's your mind clinging to familiar beliefs, creating a closed loop that resists new information. This circularity feels safe, but it traps us in outdated patterns and beliefs. 11. Appeal to authority, the surrender of personal power. When we blindly accept something because an expert said so, we're not just reasoning poorly. We're often abdicating our responsibility to think critically, surrendering our power to an external source. This can be a way of avoiding the discomfort of uncertainty or the effort of forming our own opinions. 12. Appeal to nature. The myth of the real self. It's just how I am, I can't change. This isn't just flawed reasoning, it's a resistance to growth disguised as self-acceptance. By labeling certain traits or behaviors as natural, we give ourselves permission to remain stagnant. True self-acceptance includes embracing our capacity for change and growth. 13. Composition-division fallacy, the illusion of wholeness. When we assume that what's true of the part must be true of the whole, or vice versa, we're not just reasoning poorly. We're often trying to simplify a complex world or identity. This can be a defense against the anxiety of living in a nuanced, multifaceted reality where things and people aren't always what they seem. 14. Affirming the consequent, the comfort of false causality. I feel anxious, so something bad must be about to happen. This isn't just a logical error. It's our mind's attempt to make sense of our emotions by creating false cause and effect relationships. By attaching our feelings to external events, we avoid the more challenging task of exploring our inner emotional landscape. 15. Anecdotal fallacy, the power of personal narrative. When we prioritize personal experience over broader evidence, we're not just reasoning poorly. We're often protecting our personal narrative, the story we tell about ourselves and the world. These stories give our lives meaning and coherence, but they can also blind us to larger truths and alternative perspectives. 16. Appeal to emotion, the heart as a shield. When we make decisions based purely on emotion, ignoring facts and reason, we're not just thinking illogically. We're often using our feelings as a shield against uncomfortable truths or difficult choices. Emotions are important, but when they completely override reason, they can become a defense against growth and change. 17. Burden of proof, the comfort of non-commitment. You can't prove I'm wrong. This isn't just a debate tactic. It's often a way of clinging to beliefs without having to defend or examine them critically. By shifting the burden of proof, we protect our beliefs from scrutiny and ourselves from the discomfort of potential change. 18. No true Scotsman, the defense of idealized identity. When we arbitrarily redefine our criteria to exclude counterexamples, we're not just committing a logical fallacy. We're often protecting an idealized version of our identity or beliefs. This defense keeps our self-image intact, but prevents us from honestly evaluating our beliefs and behaviors. 19. Texas sharpshooter, the illusion of meaning. When we cherry-pick data to support our pre-existing beliefs, we're not just reasoning poorly. We're often seeking to create a sense of order and meaning in a chaotic world. This illusion of pattern and purpose can be comforting, but it blinds us to the full complexity of reality. 20. Gambler's fallacy, the illusion of control. Believing that past events influence future outcomes in random situations isn't just bad probability, it's often a way of trying to assert control over the uncontrollable. This illusion of influence can be comforting in an uncertain world, but it can lead to poor decision-making and unnecessary anxiety. 21. False cause, the comfort of comprehension. When we assume causation where there's only correlation, we're not just reasoning poorly. We're often trying to make sense of a complex world by creating simple, understandable narratives. This drive for comprehension is natural, but it can lead us to oversimplify complex situations and miss important nuances. Recognizing these patterns in ourselves is the first step towards genuine emotional healing and personal growth. It's not about eliminating these defenses. They served a purpose once. It's about becoming aware of them, understanding their roots, and gradually learning to respond rather than react. Remember, every defense mechanism was once a survival strategy. Treat them with compassion, but don't let them run the show. With awareness and practice, you can transform these mental traps into stepping stones towards a more authentic, fulfilling life. If this video opened your eyes to some of your own thought patterns, share it with someone who might benefit from this perspective. Subscribe for more insights into the human psyche and leave a comment sharing which of these resonated most with you. Your journey of self-discovery has the power to inspire others. Keep questioning, keep growing, And remember, the most powerful changes often start with a simple moment of awareness. Thank you for watching. This is Ayla, signing off.